Tonight, you're going to do something insane. You're going to lie down, close your eyes, and switch yourself off for 7 or 8 hours straight. No vision, barely any hearing, zero ability to fight back. For most of human history, that wasn't a bedroom habit. That was a death wish. So how did your ancestors survive a million years of doing exactly this? Out in the open, surrounded by things that could kill them in seconds. The real answer isn't luck. It's far stranger than that. A lion outruns you easily. A leopard can drag a body twice its weight up a tree. Hyenas hunt in packs, in total darkness, with senses you don't even have. If sleep is this dangerous, evolution should have killed it off. Instead, sleep survived everything. Every mammal does it. Every bird does it. Even insects do some version of it. For decades, that contradiction has driven scientists a little crazy. How does something this vulnerable also be this universal? Maybe sleep isn't the weakness it looks like. Maybe vulnerability was never the full story. The story doesn't start with predators. It starts with fire. About 1 million years ago, something shifted in the human sleep schedule. Anthropologist Carol Worthman spent years studying sleep inside hunter-gatherer societies, groups like the Hadza in Tanzania and the San in the Kalahari. And here's what she found. They don't sleep the moment the sun goes down. They sit by the fire first. They talk. They tell stories deep into the night. That fire isn't just keeping them warm, it's keeping them alive. Light from flames pushes predators back. Big cats and hyenas are ambush hunters. Surprise is their entire strategy. Fire destroys surprise. It throws unpredictable shadows. It lights up the whole camp. Most predators instinctively stay clear of it, so the first defense humans ever built wasn't biological. It was technological. You didn't out-evolve the night. You out-engineered it. But fire alone can't explain everything. Sleep itself had to change. Researcher Jerome Siegel at UCLA studied sleep across 3 modern hunter-gatherer groups. No electricity, no clocks, none of it. What he found broke a lot of assumptions. These groups never slept in one solid block. They slept in a way that kept part of the brain half-tuned to the world, waking briefly over and over without ever remembering it. Tiny, fragmented arousals, not full wake-ups, just enough awareness to notice if something changed. Here's why that matters. Sleep was never one single off switch. It's layered. You cycle through stages and your brain never shuts down evenly. Some regions stay more alert than others. Scanning, a sudden noise, a drop in temperature, a flicker of light. Your brain can catch these signals even while you're completely unconscious, and it can yank you awake fast enough to react. Question is, what else was protecting you while you slept? Turns out, sleeping in groups wasn't comfort. It was strategy. Anthropologists studying the Efe people of the Democratic Republic of Congo found their sleeping arrangements were never random. Different ages, different alertness levels, all clustered together. Predators target the easy kill, not the hard one. A lone sleeper is easy. A pile of bodies, someone always shifting, coughing, rolling over is loud, unpredictable, and risky to approach. To a predator weighing the odds, that risk has a cost. And most predators hate unnecessary cost. They didn't evolve to fight fair, they evolved to win cheap or walk away. This is the part people get wrong about ancient humans. Predators aren't reckless. A leopard that gets hurt attacking an alert group loses its ability to hunt for weeks. Evolution doesn't reward bravery. It rewards staying alive. So if the easy meal isn't actually easy, the predator's best move is to leave. Humans near fire, in groups, on raised platforms, inside caves with one entrance, almost never qualified as easy. There's also something stranger going on, and it's about smell. Predators read scent the way you read a face. Sick or weak animals give off subtly different chemical signals. Healthy humans, breathing steadily, sleeping in a pile, don't send those signals. The whole group becomes invisible in a sense, a kind of biological camouflage. Strength in numbers wasn't just a saying, it was a chemical warning sign that said, this is going to cost you. Location mattered just as much. Paleoanthropologists studying early human sites found the same pattern again and again. Elevated ground, narrow cave entrances, cliffs at the back, brush in front. Why? Because limiting the angles an attack can come from is one of the oldest survival tricks there is. You can't ambush something that's only got one door to watch. That's why single entrance caves show such heavy human occupation across hundreds of thousands of years. It was never comfort, it was geometry.
Even height became a weapon. Some early hominins built sleeping platforms off the ground using branches and woven material. Lions and leopards can climb, sure, but climbing takes time, and every extra second a predator needs is a second your half-asleep brain might use to wake up and scream the place down. Then there's sound, which might be the most overlooked defense of all. Researchers studying ambient noise found something counterintuitive. Total silence was historically dangerous, not safe. A sudden sound against pure silence is jarring, but a low, steady backdrop, fire crackling, breathing, insects, wind, gives your brain a baseline to measure against. A snapped branch stands out instantly against familiar noise. Against silence, you have nothing to compare it to. This is part of why total silence feels unsettling even now, and why a fan humming in the background helps you sleep. Your brain still wants something familiar to check new sounds against, even when nothing's hunting you anymore. So stack it all up. Fire keeping predators back, fragmented, semi-alert sleep keeping part of the brain online, group sleeping making any single attack expensive and risky. Location and height closing off most angles of approach, layer all of it together, and the picture flips completely. Your ancestors weren't surviving the night despite being asleep. They built an entire system specifically because they knew they'd be unconscious for hours, and they engineered around it. But here's the twist that should change how you think about your own sleep tonight. Psychologist Matthew Walker at UC Berkeley found that the most dangerous moment isn't actually deep in the night. It's the transition, falling asleep, waking up, when the brain is shifting states and briefly less responsive to everything around it. That's exactly why so many cultures built winding down rituals around fires in groups with familiar voices and routines. The ritual wasn't just social bonding, it was a buffer, smoothing over the single most dangerous gap in human awareness. Now look at your bedroom tonight. No fire, no group, no one stirring in the next bed. Just you, alone, in near total silence and darkness. Your ancestors needed 3 or 4 overlapping layers of protection just to sleep safely. You have almost none of them. So why do you feel safer than they ever did? Because you didn't outdefend the threat, you removed it. Walls replaced fire, locks replaced group vigilance. Centuries of clearing predators out of human environments replaced constant low-level alertness. But your body never got that memo. You still flinch at strange noises. You still feel uneasy in unfamiliar rooms. You still sleep lighter on the first night somewhere new, something neuroscientist Yuka Sasaki documented and called the first night effect, where one half of your brain stays measurably more alert than the other, like a guard shift nobody remembered to cancel. And here's the part that should give you chills. It's not vague anxiety keeping half your brain online in a new place. It's structured. One hemisphere processes incoming sound more actively, ready to flag anything unusual and drag you toward waking. By the second night, that asymmetry disappears. Your brain runs a security check on every new environment, decides within about 24 hours whether it's safe, then finally stands down. That's not a glitch. That's an inherited protocol, still quietly patrolling a cave that hasn't existed in thousands of years. So that creak you hear in an empty house at 2 a.m. Not irrational. That's ancient software still running scans for a threat that almost never shows up anymore. Same reason hotel rooms feel hard to sleep in. Same reason camping makes you hyper-aware of every rustle outside the tent. Same reason total silence can feel more unsettling than background noise. None of it makes sense if you only think about your life today. All of it makes perfect sense once you remember what your brain spent a few million years training for. And it's not just nighttime fear that traces back to this. Think about why you instinctively want your back against a wall in a crowded room. Think about why open floor plans with no clear sightlines feel subtly uncomfortable, even when you can't say why. Think about why a closed bedroom door feels safer than an open one, even in a locked house, in a locked neighborhood, in one of the safest eras humans have ever lived in. None of these are conscious decisions. They're inherited defaults, the same ones that once decided whether a cave mouth or an open plain was the difference between living and not living to see morning.
There's an unsettling flip side to all of this, too. Predators didn't vanish because you got tougher. They vanished because you removed them, fenced them out, hunted the dangerous ones to the margins, built entire cities where nothing bigger than a raccoon poses a real threat. Which means the alertness humans evolved for sleep is, in a strange way, running on outdated data. Your brain still budgets resources for a danger your environment quietly retired generations ago. That's not a bug. It's just a lag, the gap between how fast culture changes and how fast biology can catch up. So tonight, when you flip off the light, lock the door, and close your eyes without a second thought, remember what that used to take. It used to take fire. It used to take a circle of other bodies. It used to take a brain willing to half-wake itself over and over all night, just to check the room was still safe. You're not sleeping despite the danger. You're sleeping inside proof that humans solved it. One fire, one shared shelter, one watchful, half-asleep brain at a time. And somewhere underneath all of it, that ancient system is still quietly running.